Hello, this is Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. Thank you for joining us for today's edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by the Tech Council in partnership with WisBusiness.com and with the help of our sponsors, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corp and Exact Sciences. Well, first, a review of some recent events. July 10th, we were in Milwaukee at the Quarles and Brady Law Firm's office and to talk about investing. And it was a preview of our Wisconsin portfolio publication, which is now out, and you can read more about that on our website. July 15th, our Tech Council Board of Directors met at Findorf Construction. Thanks to them for hosting that meeting. June 22nd, we had our annual golf tournament at the Oaks in Cottage Grove. The team from Kaiser Ford were the winners of that scramble tournament, and bragging rights go to our board chairman, Gary Frings, who scored a hole-in-one. July 29th, we had a luncheon at One City Schools in Madison to talk about computer and data sciences at UW-Madison. Experts from the current school, from Microsoft and Google, were there to present. And one of the things that could come out of this is a new college dedicated to AI and computing. Upcoming September 11th, we'll be back in Milwaukee to talk about tech transfer at the UW-Milwaukee, the Medical College of Wisconsin, and Marquette University from the folks who make it happen. Just a short word on what is tech transfer, and that means taking the things that are produced by research at an academic institution and get it into the marketplace. September 18th, our Wisconsin Women Reception will be held at Findorf in Madison. November 4th, this is a new thing that we took on. The Wisconsin Innovation Awards will take place at the Monona Terrace in Madison. We had 107 entries by our July 31st deadline, and the judging is already underway. November 5th and 6th, our early stage symposium will be held at the Monona Terrace in Madison. More to come on how to present if you're from a young company. I write a weekly column called Inside Wisconsin on developments that take place in our tech-based economy. Some recent examples that showed up in my columns were about tariffs, a proposal to create that AI-focused college at the UW-Madison, a visit to Titletown Tech in Green Bay, and takeaways from the state budget process. Up next, an interview with Hilary Pham of Equability. Welcome back to WisBusiness.com, the show. Again, I'm Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. Our guest today is Hilary Pham, who was the winner in our business services category in the Wisconsin Governor's Business Plan Contest. That took place, it finalized back in June at the Wisconsin Entrepreneurs Conference. So welcome, Hilary.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you started a company called Equability, where customers can, well, either mail in or drop off their clothes. And it's all about using professional sewists to replace zippers and buttons with things like Velcro and snaps and magnets to help, especially people who might have some problems, disabilities or whatever, that get in the way of dressing the way they'd like to dress, but also with ease. So tell us a little more and how it got started in particular. I think you said your mother had some things that were involving, her flexibility with her hands, and that's how you got a little bit of a start.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a perfect intro. Yeah, my mom was diagnosed with arthritis and carpal tunnel probably like 13 years ago at this point.
Okay.
So it was a very slow process of her just struggling with clothes. It got more and more painful as time went by, of course, as the conditions progressed. But yeah, and my mom, she loved to dress up every single day. I think she lives in like a button-down shirt and jeans. I joke with my sisters all the time. I was like, I think she just wears the same outfit in different colors every single day. And so it was just watching her slowly throughout the years, taking a little bit longer to get ready, and not being able to ask for help as well. Like she would just really want to struggle through it and be independent. So I think my sisters and I kind of looked around and realized I think there are a lot of other people who are also struggling with these things. Having any kind of dexterity and mobility issues does make clothes a lot more challenging. But what we found out too was that like a lot of people want to keep wearing their favorite pair of jeans, or want to keep wearing their favorite jackets that they've had. and they know it, they
Mhm.
fit well, it suits their style. So there really wasn't anyone who could adapt existing clothes to make them easier to wear. So that's kind of how we got started.
Right. Well, and that's really exciting. I mean, talk a little more about the logistics, about how people who may want to use your service can drop off, mail in, whatever works in their case, and how long it might take, what a sample of what prices might be. So take that
Mhm.
away.
Absolutely. So I'm really proud. Everything in our that we offer is $55 or less. So for online orders, we ship anywhere in the US. So if you place an order with us, I just send you a shipping label, you mail it to us. Um, I usually try to estimate a 3-week turnaround time. So a week for it to get to us, a week for us to do it, and then a week to get back to you.
Excellent. Now, I know there's at least one major company that does this, and I won't name them. And then, some of their new clothing. What other competition might you have?
So there are a lot of companies that either sell the pieces that you need or they sell the brand new clothes with magnets embedded in them, but no one is doing like the actual installation of things. So I think in terms of competition, theoretically, like tailors could do this. But of
Mhm.
course, it would involve the person like going to them, explaining what they need, also bringing their own materials and doing a lot of research about it. So yeah, there's not really a lot of direct competition, which is pretty nice.
Mhm. So, I know you also have a full-time job, so I can imagine how busy you are. So, what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs like yourself?
I think the most important thing is just understanding why you're doing something. I think that you're going to have so many late nights and there's going to be so many deadlines and there's going to be so many struggles of like figuring out who the vendors are, trying to get things off the ground.
And as I mentioned at the outset of this chat, you won the business services category in the governor's business plan contest, where the total contest had 150 plus entries. Over time, since we started in 2004, has been something like 4,800 entries, and they're from all over the state. What did you get out of that contest? I mean, certainly exposure, but what else did you learn along the way?
It was so cool to get to listen to everyone else pitch during that final round. And then afterwards, there was a social event, and I was talking to, I think Matt has a company that used Shopify, and he was like, you could do like an API plugin and like do small businesses instead of trying to plug in with like H&M who have their own websites and stuff. And I went, interesting. I never thought about that. So it was just those organic conversations that really just gave me new ideas. I think as a solo founder too, it's a lot of me sitting in a corner trying to like ask my friends what they think of things versus getting to be around other founders, getting to kind of pick their brains about things, sharing my ideas for their companies. I think the exposure is great, but I really love those organic conversations.
Oh, yeah. Well, it can be lonely being an entrepreneur. So we,
Exactly.
we certainly know that. Well, once again, thanks for joining us for WisBusiness.com, the show. Hilary Pham from Equability.
Thanks so much.
Thanks again to our sponsors, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation and Exact Sciences. We'll see you next time.